No water, no stains, no problem. One Piece chapter 1115. We gonna get straight into it. We're not on break, so we gonna get some nice little jabs and information, and then we gonna cut on to the next week's chapter. It's gonna be straight like that. Cover art for this week, we have Oni Child Yamato in the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 5. We have Yamato getting a bento box that was made by Hiyori and Otoko. It's good to have these nice, callbacks to the previous arcs. We spent a long time in Wano, so it's a little harder to just say, hey, we're done with Wano, and it would be tough to just say we're never gonna see these people again. Like that one dude in the chest, I don't know his name, but like we ain't got a single callback to that dude. This as far as I know. I'm not perfect, y'all. We probably seen him a few times. I didn't see it. Subscribe if you know what air smell like. Kicking off the chapter this week, we are in the land of Wano. Not where I expected us to be, actually. I expected us just to get straight into exactly what Vegapunk was talking about. And I'm noticing this is a pattern that Oda likes to do. He likes to have us expect something of him, and he'll give it to us, but in a different way. Pause. Well, we are in Wano, and we are getting the exact reaction of how everybody is feeling with what we got dropped on the last chapter, which was Joy Boy from the Advanced Civilization and Nika from the Stories of Elbaf. We just gonna get straight into it, bro. This chapter is already crazy, bro. I ain't even seen nothing yet. This news shakes Wano, bro. Everybody's reacting to what's going on. And Vegapunk is continuing to speak on exactly what he's talking about. So we are continuing the transmission. Holy shit. Man, speaking of crazy callbacks. So here's exactly what's going on. So we have Kinemon is, I believe, talking to Momonosuke, and he was like saying out loud, oh, I didn't know you was a pirate like Luffy Joy Boy. And then Kinemon was like, you know him? What does he mean by that? Because like, what's up with this whole voice of all things thing? Like, is this some kind of like avatar thing where you can talk to dead people, bro? Bro, the voice of all things is kind of OP, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the callback, we go to a random jail cell in the G4 Navy base, bro. And we got one of the fakers, bro. Somebody like one of the posers from like from the time skip, bro. From the time skip that was acting like Luffy. Now we have the guy right here that's acting like Kid with all the fake Kid members, bro. And he's sitting there talking like he's stronger than Joy Boy or something, bro. You sitting in a G4 base, bro, not Impel Down. He said, hey, they said, you could beat him, right, Kid? He was like, duh, he's dead already. So Vegapunk continues on with this transmission, and he says that basically it's either he's talking about the voice entry or like the ancient kingdom's time or whatever. That voice entry, it's the history of a great war, which is what he read from the poneglyphs that he has. So they're talking about a great war that happened in the distant past. So he's saying that in the distant past, there's a chance that this war could have been a war between Joy Boy and what we now know as the world government. Now, y'all know I read this as I go, so this could get debunked, but I'm just gonna throw this in here. There's no chance, there's no shot that Joy Boy fought everybody by himself. But if like he was the headliner of it, it's easy to say, yeah, Joy Boy versus what we now know as the world government. That is a crazy task right there, bro. A crazy task. I'm interested. I'm hooked. Joy Boy specific anime, prequel. We need that. And so we go on to the next set of panels, and what we're currently seeing is that as Vegapunk starts talking more about the world government, and the closer that he gets to Imu, it seems that like we're getting these, we're getting these cuts to the Gorosei, and they're getting more and more alert, or for some of them are getting more and more angry. Like Mercury, for example, is straight out yelling Vegapunk's name. It's like he's getting close to saying something that nobody's supposed to know about, or something that we don't know about. So he's saying that basically this is like information that we as readers know, but we're making the cast of this story hip to this information. Back then, the world government wasn't the world government. They were merely allied powers, as he said, just a temporary coalition of 20 separate kingdoms. Now, my question is what was this 20 kingdom alliance needed for? We don't know about any other countries or kingdoms or anything like that would like oppose them to where they would need this alliance. Maybe they came together just to be OP, or I don't know. I don't want to dip too far into the crazy theory stuff. Okay, we get the answer to what I literally just said. Thank you, Oda. They had to make a 20 kingdom large alliance to oppose the Joy Boy faction. That's walk-off worthy right there. That's walk-off worthy. That's walk-off worthy, bro. So this isn't something specifically that Joy Boy ran or Joy Boy was the head of, because this is what Vegapunk is saying, that Joy Boy was in this faction, not leading it or anything like that. He was just in it. Now, we don't know what the cause of the conflict is. That's what he's saying. But he's saying that this war could have been caused by a clash between two opposing ideologies. What those ideologies are could just be like good and evil. You know what I mean? As he continues talking, we're going to different places, getting their reactions. We're just going to flip on through and we go back to Zoe, because in the last panel, we seen Zunisha reacting to what Vegapunk is saying, and now we're seeing all of the minks reacting to what's going on, specifically the musketeers. More center screen, we just see Carrot and the musketeers, but basically all of the minks are reacting to this. We see Foxy's reacting to this, and that's about it. So Vegapunk said that he doesn't really understand what the cause of the conflict is, but he's kind of explaining it to us to the point where he's kind of narrowing it down. He's saying that the ancient kingdom, the 20 kingdom alliance, was not what the Joy Boy kingdom is, which is hella advanced, you know, almost impossible to believe this existed 900 years ago. And then we have the ancient kingdom. Maybe there was a fight in terms of spreading that wealth or spreading that knowledge and spreading the technology, but we're gonna let Vegapunk tell us. We go over to Kaku talking to Stussy right now, and Stussy gets like a ping on her radio. Edison is talking to her saying to just, bro, screw the barrier, because like there's like all these strong people that can just go through it anyway. There's no point in it, bro. We're wasting energy. And Edison's not looking too good. I still don't know how this happened. Maybe it was something that I missed, but I hope he makes it out all right. There is the Buster call that's coming, so you need to get up, like, you know, soon. You need to get up. Oh my God, what if Zoro slices a Buster call in half? Holy fuck. Bro, if that happens, I have like 5 eyes, bro. I don't even have a third eye, literally, bro. After the talk with Edison, we have Jinbei and Zoro. We get a cut over to them. They're still trying to make their way back to the crew. And, you know, obviously there's a rush because a member of the Gorosei is right in front of them. I think they're gone now, but, you know, he's like, hey, Jinbei, where you at? And then after the whole thing with Edison, we go over to Jinbei and Zoro. Sanji's like talking to Jinbei, wondering where he's at because a member of the Gorosei is in front of them, or he's gone by now. And we're in a rush. We're trying to get out of here. And of course, he's got to throw in a nice little thing at Zoro. He's saying, you're going to get it later. I mean, this is kind of his fault, the fact that Jinbei had to go and get him, you know, because he was being stupid. But yeah, it's time to go. You know, it's time to go. But at the same time, we can't leave. It's like, this is a crazy stalemate. We can't leave, but we got to go, but we can't leave. We go over to Nami. I think, I don't know specifically. I think this is what's happening, but like Nami joins in the broadcast and she's saying like, hurry up with the barrier. They're moving the ships to blockade the northeast coast, which is where they are going to be jumping out from. And I don't know who says it, but whoever says, I'll never forgive you if we get blasted out of the water after all this. I think that's Nami still. Probably still Nami. And Stussy's kind of at a standstill right now because, you know, Vegapunk made her. You know, Vegapunk cloned her. And she's kind of like, who am I supposed to live for now that Vegapunk's dead? Specifically, now that Stella's dead. So, I don't know. Live on for yourself. You know, it's like, that's like, you know, common sense. She's saying she has no purpose. Come on, bro. That's not during, bro, not mid-arc. You know, this is like post-arc on a beach in a lounge chair. That's when you have these kind of revelations, not in like a life or death situation. You know what I mean? We get another crazy feat drop. Apparently, Neptune can cut anything. The Giants, I don't know how they know, but they said, don't let him use his sword. We have Bonnie in front of Neptune right now, and they say he can cut anything. He's trying to cut Bonnie. This is like maybe in his head or something like that. He says, sense the living voices, and his target is Bonnie. He goes for a slash. This shit was about to cut her in half, but Frankie comes in and saves the day. And Vegapunk says that the Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. Bonnie is now out of her distorted future form. She just found out that this doesn't last for long. This slash just it's going on. It cut through a ship. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to establish that strength. I understand. And when he says with the defeat, maybe this is where we understand Zunisha and this robot because they both have that, like, I'm sorry, Joy Boy kind of vibe going on. Is this maybe what, maybe what's going on? Maybe Zunisha, was punished because she was a part of the Joy Boy faction, and the robot is, apologizing to Joy Boy because the robot has something to do with Joy Boy's defeat. Yeah, Neptune is just tripping right now, bro. He flew up to like where all the CP9 agents were just chilling with the Seraphim, and he said, hey, it's too many life forms up here. Let me just go ahead and get them gone. Slices like half of that whole top part of the lab. This whole little floating part of it, this whole little floating building, he just cuts it in half. I don't know if he killed anybody. I mean, it looks like he did. Or, some people just got sent flying, but the Seraphim was in there and they're reacting to what's going on. A couple of them are worried, but then a couple of them are chilling, bro. And I ain't gonna dive too deep into it. It's obviously just their reaction of like being found and, that, quick moment's notice. But are the Seraphim about to, hop into action? So Vegapunk was saying that the aftermath of this conflict had a way greater consequence than we think. They're saying that the wake of that ancient conflict scarred the world and those scars never healed. So maybe that this conflict had something to do with, hey, we don't want your technology. Maybe it's not sharing it. Hey, we don't want you using your technology against us. So we're going to get you gone. And that's what I think happened, because Egghead is the only place with this crazy technology, but everywhere else is like medieval. So maybe that's exactly what was going on. The world government didn't want that technology everywhere. I guess like the cloning, devil fruits and stuff like that. They didn't want that. So they had to get Joy Boy and all of that gone. Hence the Void Century War. I'm just gonna read this word for word because this is crazy what he just dropped. So he says that we all know that travel between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must traverse are so vast and perilous, most people are content to living and dying at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own. And then like other people are like saying, duh, isn't that kind of obvious? But then Vegapunk says, that common sense to us now, it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. A cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the Void Century, which I think was like the Pangea type vibe where everybody got split and separated into crazy islands, bro. And the ancient world was swallowed by the ocean. We are now living on top the remnants of continental fragments of the land masses that once were. So everything got sunk into the ocean once. There was already a reset due to this crazy war that's happening. This already happened. The world already got sunk into the sea once. And now he's saying this is gonna happen again. Man. So he says that the world a millennia ago sleeps unseen at the bottom of the ocean. And in Sabo, we get a silhouette of Sabo here reacting to what's going on. And the revolutionaries, did he know something about this? So he's saying that back then there were multiple vast continents, kind of like our world now. But now, with what happened back then, we're just split into different islands, which means that the population probably got tanked, bro. Go back to Orange Town where we see Nojiko. She's saying, hey, I gotta go check on the tangerines, bro. Y'all can fill me in on this later. We're getting callbacks to so many people, but where's Chest Dude? I gotta find his name. Hold on. Gaimon. Oh my God. How did I forget his name, bro? So Vegapunk continues. He says, this change in the world helps explain how a century of history could be censored. A feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion that all data points to. Within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. What? Where's all this water coming from though, bro? Okay, so he's saying that the world sea level went up by 200 meters. A warship is only 60, so 3 warships and then like 3 Luffy's worth is how much the sea levels rose, which is probably enough to sink a continent. I can't lie to you, but like skyscrapers, I mean, if they were so advanced, bro, they had skyscrapers, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe it. It's just like, it's crazy that only, 200 meters is enough to sink everything. I don't know too much about that. So what happened before, just for clarification, now that I understand. So the lab building that was floating that Neptune sliced, he didn't slice it in half, he knocked it out of the air. And all those Cypherpole agents and the Seraphim are falling right now to the ground. We go to Sakura Kingdom, where everybody is reacting to what's going on. Like there's this girl pointing to a mountain and saying, hey, that would have been submerged. That means a lot of people died. That's what I'm saying earlier, bro. The population is probably cooked, bro. So many people had to have died for something like this to happen. And then someone that was probably alive for the Void Century is sitting there acting like, you wasn't alive for this happening, bro. Where was this information at when we needed it? You could have told us this 20 years ago, bro. So this is where Vegapunk starts to talk about how maybe this is an assumption that there was a larger scale like weapon that was used, like the same thing that got rid of Lelusia and rose the sea levels 5 meters. There was a grander scale weapon that was able to get rid of continents, but it rose the sea level 200 meters. Crazy, bro. Because he's saying this wasn't a natural disaster. This was a man-made calamity. This is a long chapter, bro. Or am I tripping? And he's, trying to build his case that, for the non-believers of what he's saying, that if this was some kind of natural disaster, there was no signs of earlier buildup or anything like that. This just happened. And he did all the research and all the ologies needed. Nothing came up except for when this happened. And we end the chapter off with Vegapunk saying, this will be hard to accept, but that disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons technology capable of sinking the world. And that same very firepower still exists, just waiting to be used again. I mean, it was already used on Lelusia, but they need that mother flame because they don't have the fuel for it. In other words, the Great War that ravaged the world during the Void Century, that war is still ongoing. And I think it is currently with the pirates and the revolutionaries and the world government, bro. Holy moly. And we end off the chapter getting another silhouette, another little callback to Emu, just chilling in that weird flower forest. You haven't seen him anywhere else. He's probably, he or she is probably not able to go anywhere, but are we about to get, some Emu things, stuff and things? I'll be down for some Emu stuff and things. W chapter, that was a long one too. There's a lot to talk about from this chapter. There's a lot of plot points that I feel like is gonna, come back in the future. This was a crazy one, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Subscribe if you've ever smelled air before one more time. And man, this was a crazy one, bro. W chapter, subscribe.